Star Force Orbiter. This small coaster in the Foolerys is open for adults to ride. But with how simplistic it is it really worth a coaster credit? Actually, I really enjoyed this coaster, despite its small size. Find out why in this review. This is a microcoaster model from FBF Visa, which strangely only has 5 versions built worldwide. FBF Visa is famous for their many spinning coasters that have over 130 different installations around the globe. And that's not including Screaming Centipede at Tom Foolery's here in Round Rock, Texas, since that is a big air coaster model and is slightly different from the traditional spinning coaster. The original microcoaster debuted at the Tom Foolery's in the Wisconsin Dells. When the Tom Foolery's location opened in Round Rock, Texas, or just outside of Austin, Texas, they built a clone of this coaster. Another clone also exists in South Austin at Codaland, though this has recently started to enforce a 55-inch maximum height, making adults no longer able to ride. Tom Foolery's opened in 2020 as the arcade and family entertainment center attached to the Kalahari Resort. With lots of arcade games, this area is screaming to young kids to encourage them to spend additional money by begging their parents to play the arcade games while walking from the hotel to the included water park. As far as I can tell, Tom Foolery's is not included with the resort from the website, but most guests had blue wristbands from the resort on the day that I visited, so it seemed like it was included for some guests, or there is some type of small upcharge where you can add Tom Foolery's for the duration of your stay at the resort. As a higher cost family resort, you're likely not going to game the system by finding the best deal here. Though if you can stay on property for a few days and get Tom Foolery's included, it is a nice way to start the day or end the day with a few rides. For non-resort guests, you can purchase individual rides on Star Force Orbiter for $5, or an all-day wristband for $50, which includes Star Force Orbiter, and all other rides including Screaming Centipede. Whether or not Star Force Orbiter is included is a bit vague on the website, as it is not listed as included, at least when I checked, but it is included in the wristband from my experience. Adults are also free to ride without a child, though they will front load the trains in general. So if there are not a lot of guests, you will need to sit towards the front row. This park normally opens its rides around 10 a.m. in the summer. This seems to be noon in the off-season from what I saw online, but the website should have an accurate opening time whenever you check. As the arcade opens earlier, you can easily get to Tom Foolery's around 9:30, buy your wristband on site, though you can pre-purchase it online if you'd like, but that's not really necessary. And then walk around and see the various rides tested. One advantage of arriving at opening is the rides in the Foolerys, the 3 Kiddie rides, will likely have their own operator at this time, which will make getting a couple laps on this coaster easy. Towards the middle or end of the day when the park is slower, this area will have rotating operators, which makes it more difficult to get rides and re-rides on this coaster. The trains offer a metal T-bar, similar to other FBF Visa Kiddie trains. For an adult and child sharing a seat, this makes sense as you won't have to worry about crushing your companion when strong laterals show up. But for a single rider adult, you will still want to sit on one side and not straddle the bar, as the laterals will be more enjoyable without a pole in between your legs. After leaving the station, you go up a small lift hill and pass a theming sign for the coaster. The first drop doesn't do a lot as it is a relatively shallow drop, and if you're towards the front, the back hasn't quite left the lift hill yet. Towards the back, this drop does do a bit more as a small kiddie drop. The bunny hill does give a small rocking sensation which can be found on other kiddie coasters. This isn't exactly airtime, but about as enjoyable as a small element taken slowly can be. Then you have a final turn through this station, which by all means is the highlight of the ride, as you will be slammed to the left side of the train with these strong laterals. Given the overall size of the coaster, I have no idea how it is able to pack so much of a punch when it comes to laterals. But this was a really nice experience. Then you do many extra laps. Given the small size of the coaster, this makes sense to maximize your overall ride. Overall, how good is Star Force Orbiter? Given its size, I was not expecting much, but this coaster offers a truly enjoyable lateral moment, which has me rank it near the middle of kiddie coasters that I've been on. I rank it above Kiddie Coaster at Fun Spot Kissimmee, which does have a decent drop and some enjoyable elements. Its helix just doesn't offer laterals like Star Force Orbiter. I rank it right below Streamliner Coaster, or soon-to-be Batgirl Coaster Chase, at Six Flags Fiesta Texas, which offers a nice drop that can mix laterals with its drop feeling. And since I've ridden that coaster many times, I enjoy it maybe a bit more than I should for a simplistic kiddie coaster. How was your experience on Star Force Orbiter? Do you find the laterals enjoyable? Let me know. And as always, Cup Kun Krop.